children affected by Agent Orange in Vietnam. She organises fundraising events in the Kyneton community, bringing people together to educate them about Agent Orange, which continues to cause deformations and suffering within the community in Vietnam. Roni travels to Vietnam once or twice a year to personally oversee the work at a number of sponsored orphanages. During her visits to Vietnam, Roni assesses the most pressing needs of each institution. Examples include providing air conditioning units and medications to the GoVap orphanage, sponsoring young people when they leave the orphanages, and therefore giving them the opportunity to learn life skills and trade, or to enable them to attend university. Roni is currently working towards a sex education program. Artists for Orphans is sponsored by Rotary and is included in their Rotary Australia World Community Service program. I'd like to invite Roni Wildeboer.
Mr. Mayor, councillors, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to say I'm so proud and so honoured to receive this award is an understatement. I've been so nervous and so excited about this. I'd like to congratulate everyone, Eric, everyone who won awards today, and also everyone who was nominated. And congratulations to our newest Aussies. Well done. Lovely to see your faces. I was watching Adam Good last night, accepting his Australian of the Year award, and what struck me most was how short his speech was. So I've cut mine back. A lot. It's been my experience that being involved in your local community is incredibly rewarding. But my community has also been very good to me. I've lived a very privileged life. I've had clean water to drink. I've had food to eat. I've had no horrific deformities. I have a roof over my head, and somebody cares if I live or die. I don't understand why the cosmic lottery dealt me such a jackpot by determining that I would be born in Australia. But I've seen enough of third world countries to realise what an absolute blessing it is. I'm also fortunate for another reason. I've discovered the joy, the absolute joy and sense of fulfilment of helping those who do not live such privileged lives like we do. I founded Artists for Orphans here in Kyneton. Now this little project has turned into a beautiful butterfly, and our community has played a large part in making this happen. People ask me why Vietnam. My husband Lawrence went to Vietnam with the regular army when he was 20 years of age. He was entrenched in the Vietnam War for 16 months. You may have seen Lawrence on Foreign Correspondent not long ago returning diaries to the mother of an enemy soldier. Lawrence's connection to Vietnam became my connection. It was through him that I became informed about the dreadful consequences of that war. The Vietnam War started in 1962, and it might surprise some people to learn that it's not over. The Vietnam War, or the American War, as the Vietnamese call it, is still devastating Vietnam. It's still killing people. It's still maiming people. Fourth-generation babies are being born with absolutely horrific birth defects due to the herbicidal spray Agent Orange. Cluster munitions, landmines, and other explosive remnants of war remain a serious threat throughout Vietnam. It's estimated that out of 15 million tonnes of munitions dropped by the US government, that 10 to 30% failed to detonate on impact. So we visit children in orphanages, children with birth deformities, babies and children with hydrocephalus and terminally ill children. And some are just beautiful, healthy children orphaned by circumstance. We deliver clothes, personal hygiene products, toys, sweets, and even some nail polish for the older girls. But that's not our primary function. All the while, we are evaluating the more important needs of each orphanage, such as medical and educational needs. And you may have read recently that we've just adopted an entire orphanage called Can Vin. What makes us different, I think, is that we're very accountable. We're registered with Department of Consumer Affairs, Department of Justice. We're very gratefully sponsored by the Wood End Rotary Club, who offer tax-deductible donations on our behalf. And we personally travel to Vietnam to make sure our funds hit their target and don't move sideways into someone else's pocket. Because wherever there's poverty, there's corruption. And I don't know how we'd react if it was our children needing food and an education. We don't know what lengths we'd go to either. We rely on volunteers who put their hearts into the project as well as their skills. We keep overheads low, and it's been a winning formula. I really want to thank a few people. I have two beautiful friends in my life, and they have both travelled to Vietnam with me at their own expense. They've laughed with me and they've cried into Hanoi beer with me. Quite often we have to pry the children out of each other's arms because all logic goes out the window, and we try to be philosophical as to why we can't bring some of these kids home. I stand in awe of their extraordinary strength, loyalty and compassion. Marcy Jones, patron of Artists for Orphans. And Ros Bradbury up there, who's my Vice President. Ros is from Kite and Toyota. I love you girls, you're wonderful. I want to thank the Rotary Club of Wood End, plus all the amazing artists and musicians who give generously so we can continue our work. I want to thank this community, the Macedon Rangers, which has backed us and given us the wings to do our work. And most importantly, the person who was the catalyst for this project, the person who has encouraged me, supported me and put up with my passions, my long-suffering husband, Lawrence. So passion and compassion. Passion is the fuel and compassion is the vehicle. As for our Australian community, I can only hope that we as a nation will eventually treat our asylum seekers with compassion and clemency. On behalf of all the people I have mentioned, I'm extremely proud to accept this award. Thank you to my community and have a wonderful Australia Day.
To complete the Australia Day citizenship and award ceremony.